Hello class, welcome back to your online class. So in our previous class we are discussing chapter 10 nutrition. Till date we have already discussed what is nutrition, what are the different types of nutrients, and then we were taking briefly about each one of the nutrients. In our last class we have already discussed about carbohydrates, the types of carbohydrates, the sources of different types of carbohydrates. So next today we will take up with other nutrients, that is also the one which provides us with energy, that is fats. Okay, so your fats, the food which contains fat are also responsible for providing energy to our body. Okay, so your fat is made up of fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, now just like carbohydrates, your fats also contain the elements which makes up the fats are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Okay, but the oxygen contained in fats is much less as compared to carbohydrates, but your fats produces much more energy than that of carbohydrates. But even though we do not prefer fats over carbohydrates, why is that so? That's because the process of conversion of fats into energy is much slower process than that of conversion of carbohydrates into energy. Okay, that's why fats, carbohydrates are preferred over fats for production of energy. Fats should be the percentage of fats in our diet should be less as compared to that of carbohydrates, even though it produces more energy than that of carbohydrates. Now I hope you all can tell me about the different sources of fats, right? What are the food substances which contains fats, starting with butter, right, oils, vegetable oils. Okay, all these are the food sources which provides us with fats. Okay, so next, function of fats. What is the function of fat? Number one, like I told you, it is used for production of energy in our body, and other function would be like your adipose tissue, as we all know that it consists of fats. So what is the function of adipose tissue? It since it is present near our eye socket region around the kidney, so what does it do? It protects these regions from any kind of external shock. Okay, and other function is, since fats acts as an insulator for our body, it does not let the heat escape out of the body. Okay, so those are the different things that's related to the fats. Regarding all the nutrients, we will be first discussing about its chemical composition, then food sources, okay, and the function of that particular nutrients. Okay, these three areas should be covered whenever we are going through these different types of nutrients. Now next, going to proteins, the other important nutrient is your protein. Food which is rich in protein are known as bodybuilding food, right? So that leads us to the function of a protein. Bodybuilding means, what do you think protein does? It helps in growth of our body, and it helps in replacement of our dead cells. Okay, repairing the different tissues. Okay, that is done by your protein. So children's, they need more amount of protein in their diet because they are in a rapid stage of growth. So since protein helps in building our body, that's why they need more amount of protein in their diet. Okay, now coming to the composition, your proteins are made up of amino acids. That's why amino acid are also referred to as building block of proteins. Okay, now if you go through the structure of amino acid, this is the structure of amino acid. You have a carboxyl group, you have an amine group, then you have this R group is replaceable by other elements. Okay, So you can see that other than carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, you have even nitrogen in the amino acid. That's why nitrogen is very important for our body, because it helps in the formation of different kind of proteins. Okay. Now other than nitrogen, some of the proteins also have other elements like sulfur and phosphorus. One of the example of a protein having sulfur, amino acid having sulfur is known is cysteine. Okay, cysteine is a protein which has sulfur. Okay, so this function of protein, like I told you, it helps in building, it's a building block, it helps in growth and repair of different types of tissues. But we also know that enzymes and hormones that are very much essential for our body, what is their nature, chemical nature? They are proteinaceous in nature. Okay, that's why protein is very much important to our body. So what are the sources of proteins? Like what are the food items we should take in order to inculcate proteins? The food items are meat, fish, eggs, pulses. Okay, all these are the food sources of proteins. Okay, now next we will be discussing about certain diet deficiency disease or nutrient deficiency disease, okay, related to protein. So the different nutrient deficiency disease related to protein, carbohydrates and fats are kwashiorkor and marasmus. Okay, now kwashiorkor, this particular disease is also referred to as Kala Azar, and it is solely because of the deficiency of protein in infants. Okay, because of the deficiency of the proteins, this kwashiorkor is caused. Okay, infants are very much prone to this particular disease. Okay. Now since infants has to be breastfeeded, right, and those milk of a mother contains milk of a mother is very much rich in certain proteins. Okay, so if a baby is made devoid of mother's milk in early stage, okay, and later on is not provided with any extra supplement of protein, then that particular child or infant is prone to suffer from kwashiorkor. Okay, so what are the symptoms of kwashiorkor? The symptoms of kwashiorkor are the development of a baby is hindered, protruding belly, okay, weak appetite, okay, he doesn't feel hungry most of the time, not able to eat properly. Okay. So those are the symptoms of kwashiorkor. So how can it be corrected? Now since this particular disease is caused because of protein deficiency, so obviously this disease can be corrected by including more amount of protein, okay, in the diet. Okay. So the next nutrient deficiency disease is your marasmus. Marasmus is caused because of the deficiency of carbohydrates, fats and proteins, and this particular disease also occurs in infants. Okay, just like kwashiorkor, if baby is made devoid of breastfeeding in early stage, and later on if the proper diet is not given to the infant, then it might lead to this particular disease called marasmus. The symptoms is similar to that of kwashiorkor. The growth of proper growth of a baby does not take place. Okay, he has weak muscles. Sometimes even infant may be mentally retarded. Okay. So the proper diet, taking care of the diet of an infant as well as adult or teenager is very much important for proper growth of a proper growth. Okay, if balanced diet or a proper diet which is required by that particular person at particular stage of growth is not provided, then it will hamper the growth of that particular person. Okay, so we went through carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Now next we will be going through the protective nutrients. And what are they? What are the protective nutrients? You have minerals and vitamins. These are the protective nutrients because they provide immunity to our body. Okay. Now first let us talk about minerals. Minerals are required in our body for in a very less amount, but is very much important to our body because it helps in formation, working of different kinds of it helps in acts as a catalyst also for different kinds of chemical reaction, and also helps in formation of different kind of important components within our body. Okay. So next let us discuss about the few minerals which are very much important to our body, like calcium, phosphorus. These are the minerals which helps in strengthening of teeth and bone. That's why we all are suggested to drink milk every day, right? That's because milk contains calcium, and calcium is very much important in order to keep our bones and teeth healthy. Okay, in the absence of calcium, brittleness of your teeth or bones can easily it becomes really weak and can be easily break down. Okay, the hardness of your teeth and bones is all because of the calcium and phosphorus. So that's why we are suggested to always take milk. Okay. Now next other mineral which is important is iron. We all know what is hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin, pigment present in red blood cell which combines with the oxygen, and then oxygen is transported throughout our body, right? So your hemoglobin contains this particular, the structure of this hemoglobin also contains this particular element, that is iron, and in absence of iron the hemoglobin formation might not take place properly. That's why especially as compared to boys and girls, girls should take diet which is rich in iron. Okay, because as we know that after girls attain puberty, they menstruate monthly. So in order to compensate for that blood loss, okay, we should take more amount food items which contains iron, like pomegranate, spinach. All these are the food items which are rich in iron in order to compensate for that blood loss, because more the iron, if you take food items which are rich in iron, then that will help in the formation of blood properly. Okay, so girls are preferably advised to take more food items which are rich in iron. Okay, now next one is iodine. Iodine, we all have heard about this hormone called thyroxine secreted by thyroid gland, right? What is the function of thyroxine? It keeps in check the basic metabolism, whatever the basic function that's happening around our body, it's controlled by this particular hormone. And one of the component which makes up the hormone is your iodine. So in the absence of iodine, your thyroxine hormone secretion, formation of thyroxine hormone will not take place properly, and it will lead to, as we know that hormones has to be produced in a sufficient amount for it to function well. Even if it is less also, it's gonna lead to certain disease. Even if it is secreted in a more amount, it's going to lead to certain disease. Okay, and for formation of thyroxine you need iodine. Okay, so these are the few important minerals that we have discussed. In your book you can go through table 10.2 where you are given different nutrients, its source and function, and what are the different deficiency disease that might be caused because of the deficiency of certain nutrients in our body. Okay, now if you look at the table, your minerals have been categorized your minerals have been given within two categories, that is macronutrient and micronutrient. We all know what is macro means. These nutrients are needed in large amount in our body, and micro means these are required in a less amount in our body. Okay, so you go through the different minerals that's given in your table 10.2. Go through the sources. What are the different sources which will provide you that particular nutrient, its function, and what will happen if you do not have that particular nutrient in your body. Okay, deficiency disease because of the absence or lack of nutrient in your body. Okay, now next coming to vitamins. Okay, now coming to vitamins, vitamins are also protective in function. So this vitamins acts like a catalyst. Okay, or it also helps in production of certain enzymes in our body. Okay, now there are certain vitamins like A, D, E, K. These are fat soluble vitamin. Okay, they can be solubilized only in the presence of fat. So these vitamins can be stored for a longer period of time in our body. But vitamins like B and C, these are water soluble, so they cannot be stored for a longer period of time. Okay, now as we know that deficiency of certain vitamins also leads to different types of disease within our body, like deficiency of vitamin A leads to night blindness, right? Deficiency of vitamin C will lead to your scurvy, and there are certain different vitamins given in table 10.3. It has in table 10.3 you can see the vitamin has been categorized into two types: fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. Within fat soluble, like I told you, vitamin A, D, E and K. The other term for vitamins are also given within the bracket. For example, vitamin A is also referred to as retinol, vitamin D is also referred to as calciferol, vitamin E is also referred to as tocopherol, and vitamin K is also referred to as phylloquinol. So in that particular table, if you go through that table, different sources of that particular vitamin, function of the vitamin, and disease caused because of the deficiency of different vitamins is given. So if you go through this table, you will have a proper idea about the role of different vitamins in our body. Okay. Now, other than this 5 important nutrients, water and roughage is also included. Water and roughage is also very much essential for our body. We know that protoplasm, right? Almost 90% of it is made up of water. Protoplasm, we all know, right? It's a liquid fluid present within the cell, within which all the different cell organelles are present. All the chemical reaction that is taking place within the cell happens within that protoplasm, right? So it's made up of water. Cell is protoplasm, 90% of it is made up of water. So you can imagine, if there is a lack of water in our body, will the cell function properly? No. And we know water is a universal solvent, so it helps in dissolving different kind of unwanted materials too, right? And water also forms a key role in formation of the digestive juices. Okay, so that's all about the important. We all are aware of what are the different important uses of water. And next one is your roughage. Roughage, it helps in providing easy bowel movement within us. Bowel movement means it helps in proper egestion of the unwanted food from our body. Okay, green leafy vegetables or food items containing fibers, drumstick, all these are good for your health because they provide a roughage, thus enhancing our bowel movement. Okay. So that's all about the nutrients, and we have been discussing from time and again about what is balanced diet. Balanced diet means all these nutrients has to be, diet means combination of food, right? So your diet should contains all these nutrients in a proper amount. Okay. Now balanced diet differ with age, gender, and the kind of activity that particular person is involved in. Okay, like if you take with A's, okay, children's, they need more amount of proteins as compared to the adults because they are in a growth phase. Okay, and if you talk according to the lifestyle, like laborers, since they work day and night, right, so they need more energy in order to carry out the work, so their food needs more amount of carbohydrates, because carbohydrates provides with energy. Okay, so they need more amount of carbohydrates. Now talking referring to the balanced diet in reference to the gender, like I told you, women as compared to men, they require more amount of food which consists of iron because of all the reason that we have discussed previously. Okay, so our diet should be balanced. Okay, it should consist of all the different nutrients that we have discussed, because we know that different nutrients have different function to be performed in our body. So our food should consist of all these nutrients in a proper amount. If these nutrients are not present in our food in a proper amount, that's really gonna hamper the growth within us. Okay, so that's all about this chapter 10. Just a brief idea about what is nutrition, what is different nutrients, what are their roles. Okay, so that's all about this chapter. Just go through it. The table that I told you, that is table 10.2 and table 10.3, is important from exam point of view. So you go through this two table. Okay, next I will follow it up with the question and answer from this particular chapter. Okay, so if you have any problem, you can always contact. Thank you.